Graphic Library. Graphic History. Harriet Tubman and the Underground Railroad by Michael Martin. Illustrated by Dave Hoover and Bill Anderson. Chapter 1. Growing Up a Slave. Harriet Tubman was born into slavery in Maryland around 1820. Like all slaves, Harriet worked hard for no pay. By age 6, she was scrubbing floors, dusting tables, and caring for children. Slaves were the property of their owners. Harriet's owner, Edward Brodess, often rented her to other people. During these times, Harriet could not see her family and had little to eat. "I'm so hungry. No one will miss one lump of sugar."
"Come back here, you lazy thief!"
Harriet and other slaves wanted to escape these terrible conditions, but most runaway slaves were found and beaten. As a teenager, Harriet saw a slave try to escape. She followed the slave into a store where an overseer had cornered him. Overseers were in charge of watching and punishing slaves.
"This slave's a runaway. Help me tie him up so I can whip him. Stop him! Stop him!"
"Don't hurt him!" As the slave slipped away, the overseer threw a heavy weight at him.
"Oh no, you're not getting away that easily."
The weight missed the man and struck Harriet. "Please, God, let my daughter be all right." Harriet survived, but her forehead was badly scarred. She also suffered headaches and blackouts for the rest of her life. As the years passed, Harriet became stronger. Just 5 feet tall, she worked in the fields with grown men. One day in 1849, a boy brought water to Harriet and the other slaves. He also brought bad news. "There's a Georgia slave buyer in town. You're going to be sold and sent south." "If I'm taken south, I'll never gain my freedom." Slaves sold into the Deep South faced even worse conditions. It was also harder to escape. About 5 years earlier, Harriet had married John Tubman, a free man. After sundown, Harriet told her husband that she wanted to run away. "It's too dangerous. You'll be caught and beaten. One of 2 things I have a right to: liberty or death. If I cannot have one, I'll have the other. I'm not going with you." Later that night, Harriet decided to head for freedom. Pennsylvania was about 90 miles away. Slavery was against the law there. "Goodbye, John." She didn't tell her husband that she was leaving. But she did let someone know. Slaves often used songs to tell secret messages to friends and family. "I'm sorry, friends, to leave you. Farewell, oh farewell. I'm bound for the promised land. My friend Harriet is heading for freedom." Chapter 2. Heading for the Promised Land. During the mid-1800s, some people helped slaves escape to northern states and Canada. They gave runaway slaves food, shelter, and rides between towns. This system was called the Underground Railroad. Harriet knew people who might help her. "I'm running away to freedom. Can you help me?" "Yes. Take this piece of paper to the next town. Someone there will help you." Harriet also knew that slave catchers and their dogs might be chasing her. Guided by the stars and her strong faith, she followed rivers and roads at night. "Lord, I'm going to hold steady on to you. You've got to see me through." She slept in the woods during the day. Each stop along the Underground Railroad was called a station. Someone helped Harriet at each station. "Stay quiet and try not to move." "Is it safe to come out?" "No. You must wait here a few more days. People who helped slaves could be fined, sent to jail, or even killed. Still, many people risked punishment because they believed slaves should be free. That's a good spot. No one will look for you up there. After weeks of danger, Harriet finally crossed into the free state of Pennsylvania. I can't believe I'm really free. The sun is like gold through the trees and over the fields. I feel like I'm in heaven. Chapter 3. The First Rescue. Once in Pennsylvania, Harriet found a job. She enjoyed her freedom, but missed her family in the South. Oh, dear Lord, I don't have any friend but you. In late 1850, a friend told Harriet some shocking news. Your niece Keziah and her children in Maryland will be sold at a slave auction. I must do something. They will be sent farther south, and I will never see them again. Harriet decided to travel back to Baltimore, Maryland. She wanted to rescue Keziah and her children. I'll cover my scar with this hat. Slave catchers won't spot me disguised as a man. It was a dangerous mission. Harriet arrived safely in Baltimore. She met with Keziah's husband. They made plans to free Keziah and her children. Take your boat to Cambridge and bring them back here. I will guide them to Pennsylvania on the Underground Railroad. Thank God you're all safe. You got here just in time. The slave auction is tomorrow. Then we must leave tonight. Harriet is waiting. She will take you to freedom. I'm going to row all night to Baltimore. Keep the children quiet. Harriet's plan worked. Keziah and her family finally reached Baltimore. Harriet, is that you? I thought I'd never see you again. Yes, it's me. She guided them safely to Pennsylvania. In a few days, you'll all be free. Chapter 4. Conductor on the Railroad. Over the next few months, Harriet returned to Maryland and rescued more family members, including one of her brothers. Soon, Harriet decided to help other slaves escape to freedom. Steal away, steal away, steal away to Jesus. Steal away home. Over here. Follow me to the promised land. The Fugitive Slave Act of 1850 made Harriet's rescues more difficult. This law allowed owners to hunt for runaway slaves anywhere in the United States. By 1851, Harriet was taking slaves all the way to Canada. Along the way, Harriet continued to receive help from other members of the Underground Railroad. They gave runaway slaves food, clothing, and places to hide. Still, the journey from Maryland to Canada was more than 500 miles. Sometimes, slaves wanted to turn back. I can't go on. Dead men tell no tales. You go on or die. Okay, I'll go. Harriet could not let them change their minds. Slave owners would force captured runaways to reveal the secret routes of the Underground Railroad. Other times, runaway slaves were frightened by the dangers they faced along the way. We'll never make it across. I'd rather be beaten than drowned. Harriet guided them past their fears. Come on, it's safe. Are you frightened of nothing? I talk with God every day of my life. As long as He wants to use me, He will take care of me. From 1851 to 1860, Harriet made 19 trips into Maryland and other slave states. She brought more than 300 people to freedom in the northern United States and Canada. By 1861, The issue of slavery had helped start the Civil War. Northern states fought against Southern states. In April 1865, the North defeated the South. That same year, Congress passed the 13th Amendment. This addition to the U.S. Constitution ended slavery in America. For the rest of her life, Harriet Tubman helped former slaves begin new lives. She also spoke about her journeys on the Underground Railroad. On my Underground Railroad, I never ran my train off the track, and I never lost a passenger.